Welcome. Thank you very much to everybody for coming along tonight. Obviously a really good way to get you intrigued is to tell you nothing about what's going on, and I want 10% of all the bets in the room for the winners because there's some really strange stories going on here today. So thank you for coming. I don't think I need an introduction. I think I've met most of you, but just in case, my name is Marie Birmingham. I am the principal of Sovereign Bridge Capital Group, the majority shareholder, and beside me here is Leanne Rowley, who is the minority shareholder. 1988 was when this business was established. It's had various names over the time frame, but the company was established on the 1st of November 1988 as PDA, and there are people in the room who've been around since 1988, not just me. It's always been a company that provided quality financial advice to its clients, both personal clients and some of the more commercial business related activities. It was Lonsdale for a while there from 1995 through to 2002 when we were part of the national dealer network that is now owned by, I think they're called DKN now. And then in 2002 we took a huge step and actually went to our own licensing regime, and Sovereign Bridge became the name. We are always about clients. Now the banner over next to Jeff over there says success for our clients, our staff and our business. It's very, very deliberately in that order. Our philosophy as a business has been that we will be successful if our clients are successful. The staff will reap the rewards of that, and once the staff are successful, then the business gets it. So we do things for clients first. One of the best examples of that is there's a thing called FOFA out there at the moment, which is Financial Something Reform Act. Here we go. Future of Financial Advice. It's really hilarious. They're actually starting to talk about fee-based rather than commission-related for financial services. We've only been doing it since 1988. So everybody else is running around going, how the hell do you do this? We've been doing it for a long time. And the issue about why we did it back in 1988 was about the clients. We didn't want to accept huge upfront commissions from them in 1 year and then not be able to turn the lights on in the second year. My previous employer had a Moe Chandon type situation sometimes, and how the hell am I going to pay the wages the next time? We wanted to be able to say to our clients, you'll keep paying us when we do things that are in your best interests. 2011 is the beginning of a new decade. The Sovereign Bridge Capital story was great for 2002, but it's 9 years old. And it's a bit of a function of the fact that we don't do any marketing in the business, that we really didn't even look at the logo. We didn't really look at what it represented or what it said. And again, it was interesting. Sovereign to us was always about wealth and money and the concept of unique money. But several clients said to me, Sovereign's all about the Queen, isn't it? Isn't that you? And I'm like, no. Didn't have any connotation to that at all. So it's interesting when you market test something. So 2011 is the new decade. We're moving on. We're making some change. And I know that's scaring a few of you, but stay with me. We're building on our core strengths. We're not changing what we do about making the client first. We're not changing what we do about providing service to our clients. But we're sharpening our focus and we're going to add some new services. Today, it's a new, exciting structure. And the one constant, as we mentioned on the invitation, is change. We do know that change will continue to happen. And today's about explaining some of that change to you. There's a new equity shareholding going on. I'm selling down, Leanne is buying more, and James and Chris are now shareholders in the business as well. One of the things that I've always done in this business is employ people that are smarter than me. And I think it's a key factor in the success of the business, in that almost everybody else in the team in the leadership group has significant educational experience that I didn't have. James and Chris both have degrees in different specialities in terms of economics, finance, business marketing, what have you. Leanne just got her CFP status last week. Won't talk about why I don't have it and don't want to have it, but that's another story. But we insist on the education standards on our staff being really, really at the top of the mark for what's available. We've also got the new vision. So we're looking at the situation of a slightly new name and certainly a different image, an updated image. But I'm still here, 80%. The number of questions I had last week on the phone from people who are not coming going, are you going anywhere? I'm going to Melbourne and Adelaide next week, does that count? Sovereign Plus is the new name. So Sovereign is still about sovereign, but there is more. And we are going to continue to provide exceptional advice and extraordinary outcomes for you, our clients. The purple has stayed, obviously. We wanted some connection back to the colours, and we found that nobody else in the industry is purple, and we like being a little bit different. A comment and some feedback on the new website was, why doesn't it say right up front that you're not commission, you're different? And I thought, oh, okay, we don't even think about it anymore. The whole FOFA thing is weird for us because we don't understand why you can have such a different situation. So Sovereign's the core, Plus is the little bit more, and I'm going to tell you about some of those little bit more services. We want to always strive to achieve more for you. The leadership group, that's what it looked like. They're over here. It's not just about me. It hasn't been about me for a very long time. Those of you who were with us 10 years ago when I had breast cancer know that it was a really crappy year for you as clients when I wasn't here because I had my finger in every pie. That is no longer the truth. And basically I'm a little bit redundant now. Where are you, Val? I'm not leaving, but I could leave if I wanted to. Don't have any plans to do that. The leadership group consists of Ian, who's been our general manager since 2004. Came to us from the corporate side where he was working for Colonial and effectively reverse take over some of the Commonwealth Bank divisions at that time. So he brought big corporate life to us, and it was hilarious some of the conversations he and I had about Ian, we're a small business. We don't do stuff like that. Oh, sorry. And see, I can't do it on my own. I need someone to tell me to move the slide on. So he's experienced in the corporate side. He also worked with AXA/National Mutual in the early days. So he's seen the other side of advisory practices, and he's seen a number of other practices, which was a lack in me in knowing how anybody else did it. Leanne, as mentioned before, was a current shareholder and now a significant increase, is our operations manager, and she's in charge of keeping the team getting things to you. Mentioned her CFP status, and probably one of the proudest moments of my life, she's been here 10 years last month with us, was sitting near her at the 40 Under 40 Awards. It was just an amazing feeling to watch her go up there amongst the rest of the 40 Under 40 awards. I mean, the guy that won that year was David Flanagan from Atlas Iron. It was like, Sovereign Bridge is playing in the same game as Atlas Iron. It was very surreal. And the year before that was the Telstra Business Awards as well, where she was a finalist in the Young Business one, similar to I had been a few years. So it's really important that it's the depth of the team that I'm talking about here. James has been with us 5 years. Feels like yesterday that he and Silvana started with us, but been a critical part of developing. He was firstly in the paraplanning peer, which in today's parlance we call it upstairs and downstairs, and you can have a big argument about where the work goes on in our office. Is it upstairs or is it downstairs? She's saying upstairs, I'm saying downstairs. James was a great innovator in the paraplanning process in terms of delivering different and better documents to us, and now of course he's part of the client face downstairs delivering those same documents to you. He's a great contributor to the team in terms of developing the rest of the people in the organisation, and very much a team player in terms of, again, we always want something that's best for you. Chris is our 3 years since you joined us next month. Yep. So again, with a bit of industry experience from other financial planning practices. He's actually been a little bit on the dark side. He was with Westpac once before, but we don't want to talk about banking. I can't have my glasses on, so I don't know if there's any bankers here today. So again, brings that ability to say, well, you guys are doing it so much better than what's happening in the rest of the marketplace. You do seriously do the things that put the clients first and have a good outcome for them. And has been downstairs, as we call it, for a little over 15, 16 months now. So we use upstairs as a good training ground for advisors. That's not to say that everybody that comes into our planning division needs to be an advisor, because ideally career paraplanning is actually a fantastic job in its own right as well. But it's a great training ground for them to know. They work on your plans for a long time before they ever necessarily even meet you, and that gives them a really good grounding in who you are and what you want and what you need and what you want. And then there's me. And I've been kicked upstairs, if you like, other than I'm still sitting downstairs. I am the CEO. I am the leader. My job is to continue to develop this business in a way that will be beneficial for our clients. I'm still doing client activity, don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not seeing clients still, but I'm not seeing all of you the way I was 5 years ago. I'll see you in some meetings, I'll see you in not in others. But my job right now is about making sure that the negotiations that we do with the platforms, with the fund managers, even with the accountants and lawyers, and there are some of them in the room, I know for sure, are about getting you the best service. It's about sourcing the things that we need. And I'm really, really excited about the team that we have together. I'm not going to talk about the entire staff tonight because I'd have to keep you way too long. But I wanted you to all know, some of you have met the advisors, but Ian and Leanna tend to be a little bit more in the back office, and I think it was important for you to know that their jobs in terms of keeping the boxes ticked and the I's dotted and the T's crossed is part of what makes this business as successful as it is for you. We want to be true to our heritage. We still want to hold all the same values. We want to provide quality advice and superior service. And with that in mind, we recently did not just a staff survey, which we do on a regular basis, but we also did a client survey. And we are asking you to tell us if we are not doing anything that you think that we should be. And we're asking you to tell us, and you know, a lot of you are really good about just ringing up and telling me, that's great. But this was an anonymous survey, and hey, they're always the best, because you tell us really warts and all what it is, and our job for 2011 is to work on some of those issues and improve them so that you get a better outcome. Things that we didn't think were necessarily important are what's important to you, and we need to change a couple of things. Our retired clients are a lot of fun. When they ring us from Paris or Argentina or wherever they are in the world and go, hey, just need a little bit more money and I'm having a great time. Or no, I don't need any more money and I'm sitting on my ride-on mower on my block of land in the country, wherever. Whatever their goals and objectives are, it's not important to us what they are. What's important is that they actually can enjoy it. And one of the case study documents that we've done shows that dip in values that everybody else talked about as being a GFC. GFC for us is the Geelong Football Club, for goodness sake. It's not a global financial crisis. It didn't happen in Sovereign Bridge client space. That's not to say that it didn't have an effect for some people, but for the most part, clients were able to wait it out and recover, and particularly in the retired space. Our family clients are also a lot of fun. It's about accumulating towards that day when they will be retired. It's about making sure that we have the goals and the objectives. I've got one client who says to me, am I the client who changes things the most? And I'm saying, no, but you're in the top 10. Lots of things go on in that space and it's fun. It's great and interesting to develop new changes and deal with whatever comes along. Good fun for all of us.